Now at 6 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, a suspect in custody after Monday's migrant bailout in nursery. Victoria police find the body of a man in the 1200 block of East Mockingbird Lane. And Edna residents get help in cleaning up after Monday night storm.
We have additional showers around the area today. You can see the heavier stuff up here near the Wharton area. There's the city, and we also have some stuff down south in the Refugio area. This is all moving south, but it should be collapsing now that the sun is going down. We'll have more weather details coming up.
And speaking of Refugio, the Refugio Bobcats boys and girls teams are rocking their new state championship rings. That and more in sports.
You're watching 25 News Now at 6. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Don Brubaker. Karina Garcia has the night off. Just before 11 a.m. today, Victoria police were in the 1200 block of East Mockingbird Lane for a man found unresponsive in a vehicle. Officers broke the windows and determined the man was dead. Police believe the body was there for a few hours. Authorities say the man was 66. He died while operating the car. The car hit a fence. A passerby thought it looked strange and called police. No foul play suspected. Investigators still looking into an incident at Bright Stars Learning Academy's second center last Friday. A child was hurt and had to go to an out-of-town hospital just before 1 p.m. The daycare is in the 100 block of Cozy Circle Drive. 25 News Now has learned the Health and Human Services Commission visited the daycare center on August 14th and found no deficiencies. We reached out to the director at Bright Stars Learning Academy, who declined to comment. The state's Child Care Investigations Division opened an investigation at the facility to see if abuse or neglect was a factor. And 25 News Now requested the police report and 911 call made that day. For now, anyone who has concerns about a child care operation can call the Texas Abuse Hotline at 800-252-5400 or go to txabusehotline.org to report abuse, neglect, or violations of state standards at a child care operation. A local family still waiting for answers. 7 years later in a fatal hit and run. The child's mother runs a thrift store to keep Kevin's name and story alive. 25 News Now weekend anchor Adam Seibel has more. Adam?
That's right, Don. So 7 years ago today, 11-year-old Kevin Garza was hit by a car. The driver never stopped and is still out there. It happened along State Highway 185 as Kevin walked to school in Bloomington. Kevin's mother has kept a thrift store called Kevin's Closet open in his honor. It's now at 1708 East Airline. If you have any information on this unsolved fatal hit and run, you can call Victoria Crime Stoppers 361-572-4200. We spoke with Kevin's mother. She says having Kevin's Closet open is about keeping his memory alive and honoring his life.
Helps bring awareness to the case because people come in and they ask questions. Have they found the person that hit him? So we tell them no, and sometimes there's confusion because sometimes they think the person, that they already found the person. So when we tell them no, the person has not been found.
Darlene does want the suspect to be apprehended, but more than anything, she does not want her son to be forgotten and become another case to some people because he's a son, somebody's brother, somebody's grandson, and somebody's friend and classmate. Authorities have followed up on several leads and even located a vehicle in another state, but nothing has led them to the name of the person who committed this crime. Don?
All right, Adam, thank you. And here's your viewer poll this evening. Scan the QR code on your screen to take part. Here's the question. Have you visited Kevin's Closet on East Airline? Yes or no? Let's look at the numbers. 8% of the voters say yes and 92% of the voters say no. We thank you for voting. We want to hear from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote. We'll have an update on what you and your neighbors are saying on 25 News Now at 10. Lavaca County Commissioners extended the burn ban in that county this week. The drought index averaged well over the limit required for calling for a burn ban for the county. The burn that was approved by Wharton County Commissioners Court Monday morning and scheduled to go into effect Thursday morning will be delayed a day thanks to Monday evening storms that moved through the area. The burn ban was lifted in Wharton County September 17th. Edna City officials giving information to residents on cleanup from Monday night's storm. Edna City Manager Gary Brose says they have 3 crews working to pick up limbs. They are asking residents to put other non-tree limb damage in a separate pile in front of their houses. Residents or business owners who have any damage should call Edna City Hall. If Edna residents have damage to property and structures, Jackson County authorities asking citizens and businesses to use the iStat tool. Go to damage.tdem.texas.gov to report damage. And now let's take a first look at your forecast. Here's First Warn Storm Team Chief Meteorologist Mac Pettis. Mac, do you see any kind of storms on the way in the next few days?
Well, speaking of Edna, we do have a shower that's just real close to him right about now. You can see most of this stuff, garden variety. I don't see any severe. I certainly don't see any hail, but we do have some additional showers rolling around the area. There's Edna, and there's High 59. There's the city. Most of the stuff is down in Refugio County and out west of Cuero. All of this stuff should decrease as the sun goes down, but we'll have more details on your weather coming up in just a moment.
Mac, thank you. The suspect in the migrant bailout in Victoria County Monday has been identified and arrested. 24-year-old Pepe Patino Gonzalez of Houston, charged with smuggling of persons. He is in the Victoria County Jail in lieu of a $40,000 bond. Gonzalez was the only person arrested in the bailout Monday afternoon in Nursery. Gonzalez accused of driving the Scout vehicle in the bailout. Up to 12 migrants were reported to be involved. One of the migrants was located Tuesday morning. Texas has sent more National Guardsmen to El Paso to help with the incoming influx of migrants crossing the border. Officials say more than 600 troops have arrived in the last 4 days. The city's mayor has said El Paso has reached its breaking point. Last December, Governor Greg Abbott started sending Guard members to the border to keep migrants from crossing the Rio Grande. And Governor Abbott was in New York today to discuss a problem the city of New York and the state of Texas are both struggling with, the migrant crisis. In a speech to the Manhattan Institute, the governor insisted his state is dealing with the same problem as New York City, but it's far worse in Texas. He also insists the plan to place buoys in the Rio Grande is a safe and effective way to stem the flow of migrants. After almost 3 decades working as a firefighter, Chief Robert Fox is retiring. Today, city leaders, staff members, and friends and family gathered to celebrate Chief Fox. He joined the department in June of 1996. He was named chief on July 1st, 2018. Chief Fox will finish up this week and head into retirement. Congratulations to Chief Fox. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Port Lavaca Wave. The United Way of Calhoun County has come back after the pandemic with a fundraising goal of over $300,000. Plus, a fire truck belonging to the Port Lavaca Fire Department returned to the city after more than 5 decades. You can read these stories and more at theportlavacawave.com. A NASA astronaut returning to Earth on Wednesday after being stuck in space for just over a year sets a U.S. record. American Frank Rubio landed with 2 Russian cosmonauts in a Soyuz capsule that was rushed up as a replacement after their original ride was hit by space junk and lost all its coolant while docked at the International Space Station. This delay helped Rubio, an Army doctor and helicopter pilot, set the record for the longest U.S. space flight when a 180-day mission turned into a 371-day stay. Wow. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell so you can get Crossroads Today on YouTube. And stay with us. Coming up on 25 News Now at 6. Attorney General Ken Paxton wants back pay for the month he was suspended from office. Also ahead, a National School for Art closes, leaving hundreds of Texas students in limbo. State Comptroller Glenn Hagar says Attorney General Ken Paxton cannot receive back pay for the months he was suspended from office after the Texas House impeached him. KXAN reports Paxton demanded a reimbursement of his annual salary for the time period in which he was not getting a paycheck. He's also threatening legal action against Hagar if he does not comply. Hagar told Paxton to go to the Texas Supreme Court for a ruling. A Houston teacher accused of shooting his wife to death appeared in front of a judge Tuesday. The shooting victim filed for divorce before her death.
The 37-year-old murder suspect was brought out handcuffed and in leg shackles. James Anderson, we confirmed, is a Cleveland ISD Special Education Department chair at Santa Fe Middle School. He's since been placed on administrative leave pending the outcome of the case. Prosecutors say on Sunday his 34-year-old wife called 911 and told the operator that Anderson was threatening to shoot and kill her in their Kingwood home. Then the operator reported hearing a gunshot. When officers arrived, prosecutors say they saw the victim's body through the window and Anderson barricaded inside. After letting their 3-year-old son out first, we're told he surrendered hours later. Prosecutors believe the child witnessed the crime.
Based on the evidence in the case, we have reason to believe that the child was in the room when his mother was murdered.
Prosecutors say officers noted the boy's clothes were covered in what appeared to be blood.
Tragically, this is something that we see often in domestic violence cases. We see that children are caught up. They often witness the abuse of their mothers, of their fathers, and it's another tragic circumstance of escalating domestic violence.
We're told the boy wasn't hurt and is now with family members. In court, we also learned a week prior to the deadly shooting, prosecutors say Anderson called 911 to report his wife.
The defendant calling 911 because the complainant had taken his guns and secured them in her father's safe. There is a report for that.
Prosecutors say the wife filed for divorce about a month ago, and there have been other instances of domestic violence in the home. Meanwhile, Anderson's attorney,
I'm really interested to hear the 911 call. I know that's going to be a big part of this case.
Told us he just took on the case but shared his client doesn't have a criminal history. He also said he talked to him this morning saying he was calm and asked about his son.
He wants to make sure he's being taken care of, and I'm sure he is. So he does have he cares about his son, I can tell that.
1,700 college students scrambling right now after the Art Institutes announced it is closing its doors by the end of the month. The Art Institutes is a for-profit college with 8 campuses around the country. They include 4 locations in Texas. Officials say the Art Institute suffered from low enrollment since the pandemic. Before that, in 2015, the school paid $95 million to settle fraud allegations and lost its accreditation. Here's some of the top headlines you can read in the Cuero Record. The first South Texas Junior High STEM Center opens at Cuero Junior High. And Verena Albright celebrated her 103rd birthday. You can read these stories and more at DeWittCountyToday.com. A great mystery has finally been solved in Dallas, and it involves a giant reptile. Dallas Animal Services trying to locate the rightful owner of a 200-pound tortoise after it was found wandering the streets last week. The owner was finally found thanks to social media.
This hungry, humongous tortoise is the star of one of the strangest mysteries Dallas Animal Services has ever seen.
It was bizarre. It was just the strangest thing.
September 19th, DAS field supervisors got the call. A 200-pound stray tortoise was wandering around Dallas. DAS took him in, posted his pic online, and asked anyone who lost a giant tortoise to call him. More than 20 people did.
I thought, how can this many people have lost their tortoise and not found it?
His rightful owner, Gabriel Fernandez, finally came forward after he saw DAS's viral post.
As soon as I seen him, I knew right away, it was him.
Gabriel's tortoise, Lorenzo, escaped from under a fence at his home, where Lorenzo lives with 41 other pets, including a spider monkey that wears dresses and a diaper. Oh, and Lorenzo used to live at the Tiger King Zoo.
Oh yeah, it's funny because I got him from the Jeff Lowe that was on the Tiger King.
Lorenzo survived 5 long weeks in the wild. His strange story, it's also a sweet one.
If it wasn't everybody sharing on it, then I never would have seen it.
Thanks to all the kind folks who shared Lorenzo's picture until Gabriel saw it, his 5 little kids
I thought I was never going to see Lorenzo again.
finally have their favorite pet back home.
It's like our family's back together.
Lorenzo the wayward tortoise. 5 weeks on the road, finally got home. That's great. Well, good afternoon, everyone. We do see additional showers around the area. You can see Giddings up here. We've got some stormy weather actually near the Edna area, but the only severe weather we've seen is up here in far west Texas. You can see it right about there, but that doesn't seem to be headed in our direction. We'll talk more about how much rain we should get out of this and what to expect for the rest of the week coming up in a moment.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Check check, 1 2 1 2.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Do have a live picture here. You can see a little bit of the cloud cover. We seem to be safe and clear from all of the shower activity that's around the area, but we're doing well here. 88 degrees right about now. We managed to get up to 96 this afternoon. I wish we could get to 89, which would be our average temperature, but no such luck this year. Now, here's what we're talking about. Here's a storm complex with some bigger activity. And you can see Edna right about here, and then you can see Victoria down there. So which way is it going? Now you can tell me by looking at several frames here, it looks like it's coming in this direction. So Edna, you would be first, and then, Inez and Telfordner, and then Victoria. So do watch to the northeast. You'll see a big thunderstorm sort of heading your direction. Other activity south of Cuero out near Nordheim, and of course this is still part of the old little front that's sort of falling apart but still around the area. We did have a little bit heavier activity out here in southwest Texas, but that's pretty far away from us. So this is what we need to look at for the next couple of hours to see how much rain we get. It is not severe now. It doesn't mean it can't get severe, but it most likely will begin to decrease now that the sun is going down. Now, this is a different map, folks. This is the precipitation expected in the 8 to 14 day time period. When would that be? That would be the second week of October. We're going to start October real soon here. So what it does, it shows me a good chance for rain through much of central, east, and south Texas. It puts us in the rain band, so with a little luck, this is beyond the 7 days. We may see more shower activity rolling around through here, and that will also help knock the temperature down a little bit. We are looking at today's observed highs. You can see everybody's pretty much in the 90s, including us, of course, 96 and 96 down in Corpus Christi. Or forecast highs for tomorrow, still in the 90s. Can't seem to get rid of them. And it's almost October. Can you believe it? We still haven't had one day below that. We're taking a look at the Atlantic. Now, this is Tropical Storm Philippe. Philippe now is going to be turning and rolling into the Lesser Antilles. maybe even Puerto Rico, British Virgin Islands. So the good news that it'll be a tropical storm, not a major hurricane. Unsettled weather, but it could be a whole lot worse. And behind it, we have what will likely become Rena by, I believe, tomorrow. Rena will be right behind that system, so we're going to have to watch where that goes as well. Again, looks like it'll go right over those very populated islands, but not as a major hurricane, and that sort of helps out. If you do have a chance to go do a little fishing tomorrow morning, just know that your sunrise will be at 7:19 and your sunset at 7:15. So days are getting shorter and shorter, and that's going to help out. Just remember, we still have a chance for afternoon showers out in the Bay waters. Now, your planner for tomorrow, 76 in the morning as you head out the door in Port Lavaca, getting up to about 90 in the afternoon high with additional cloud cover popping up in the afternoon, and then 72 and then 95 the high in Cuero. We are looking for a little bit of a warming trend. We've got showers, 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 and then a little bit warmer. That's the short term. And then after 7 days, remember, we're looking for cloudy and rainy and maybe cooler weather by the time we get to the second week of October. That is your 7-day forecast. Reminding everybody, we do have a QR code. We want you to scan that and put Crossroads Today on your phone. Here's Mr. Don.
Thank you, Mr. Mack. And here's Sports Director Gino Perez. Gino, you have some volleyball highlights we will really dig?
Oh, yeah, for sure. And the fans will dig them, too, because they gave a whole lot of highlights for the fans to cheer on about. That's coming up after the break. At Crossroads, the Refugio Bobcats boys and girls track teams are celebrating their accomplishment of winning state by receiving their state rings. Today at the Refugio High School Performing Arts Center, cheerleaders, band members, fans, and family gathered to celebrate the track teams sweeping the state meet this past year. The boys won its second state track title in a row, while the girls won its first title since 2018. Those in attendance included former state champions Toya Jones and Ginger Dickerson and Ken Harris. Refugio Mayor Wanda Dukes was in attendance as well, and she declared that September 27, 2023 as the 1983 through 1985 Lady Cats and 1993 Bobcats Track Team Day. The Refugio Bobcats and Lady Cats won a total of 20 combined titles in track and field alone since 1980. Dickerson challenged the boys team that has won 2 in a row to do what her team did in the late 80s, which was win a three-peat, even though her teams won 4 in a row. The St. Joseph Lady Flyers continue to dominate at the net and swept San Antonio Providence last night. Senior Bridget Bludow and Emily Strieff come up big with a nice block there, and St. Joe just 2 points away from victory. Next, Bludow and Channing Meltzler down the line block yet again to put them 1 point away from the victory. The Providence come back a bit though, and Bludow and she says, no ma'am, return to sender, smashes it down for the match-winning point. St. Joe got the sweep 25-16, 25-21, and 25-20. Addison Azuna led with 19 kills and 13 assists. Meanwhile, Morgan Cornick mirrored with 19 assists and 13 digs. And if you missed last night's game between Victoria East and Victoria West, it was one for the ages. East came into never having won the match with the victory, and unfortunately they could not get it last night either, as West, they take it down to the final set, and this would be the last point. West stormed back, and Grace Weiler would come up huge. The set here, and she just stuffs it down through the block. The Lady Titans had a unfortunate try comeback. They led 9-3 at one point, but just could not get the win. And the West Warriors are 2-1 in district and will play Schulenburg on Friday. East, meanwhile, are 0-2 in district and will take on Miller Friday night. East and West will play again on October 13th. This time, it'll be at West High School. After demanding a trade, the longtime Portland Trailblazer star Damian Lillard is being traded. Lillard is being traded by the Portland Trailblazers to play alongside Giannis Antetokounmpo in Milwaukee and the Bucks. The deal ends a 3-month saga surrounding Lillard's wish to be moved elsewhere, with hopes of winning an NBA title and ending his 11-year run with the Trailblazers. The 7-time All-Star goes from the Trailblazers to the Bucks in a 3-team deal that sends Drew Holiday from the Bucks to Portland, DeAndre Ayton from Phoenix to Portland, and Yusuf Nurkic to the Blazers, from the Blazers to the Suns. What a blockbuster trade in the NBA. Well, bad news for Aggie fans out there. Texas A&M quarterback Connor Wigman will miss the rest of the football season due to a lower leg injury he suffered in the win over Auburn. The sophomore from Cypress Bridgeland has his first x-rays come in negative at first, but further tests revealed that he had a broken foot. Now veteran quarterback Max Johnson will get the start when the Aggies face Arkansas in Arlington Saturday before hosting Alabama in Week 6. And so that everybody could be a part of the Refugio ceremony, they gave out little ring candies. So of course I had to grab one too. Well, that's your sports. Don, back to you.
Very sweet moment there. All right, Gina, thank you. We're back in a moment. You know, we've shown you Bloomington Bobcats and Refugio Bobcats for years, but not this kind of Bobcat. Finally tonight, no homeowner wants to see a big bobcat lurking near the front door. This was in a neighborhood in Carrollton near Dallas. Mason Lane took this video of the big cat. Lane said he was surveying a home in the area when he spotted it. Lane says he warned some neighbors before he left. Experts say if you encounter a bobcat, protect children and pets and create distance between you and the animal by walking away slowly. Easy for them to say. I would probably get in a nearby car and hit Drive
quickly.
quickly.
You would just see elbows because you're just running.
Oh, yeah. Goodbye, Bob. Hello, more sun.
That's right. Well, folks, we do have one thunder shower that is to the northeast up toward Highway 59. If you're in Edna, look out for that. It's not severe, but it is rolling down toward us, so we'll be tracking that for the rest of the evening for you. Otherwise, looking at temperature staying in the mid-90s all the way through the weekend.
Nothing as serious though as Monday night, though.
No, not at all. No, I don't see any hail in it right now.
Very good. All right. Thank you, guys, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight for 25 News Now at 10. Have a good one, everybody.